Good morning, everyone. Just a few more minutes and we'll get started. Good morning. Just one more minute. All right, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to ACD Testing 84. Let's jump right into DevNet status updates. Barnabas, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. We currently have Delta 5 up and running. Last week I've onboarded all the remaining ELs except Nimbus EL. As of right now, we have most of the Prism nodes still offline. I'm not sure if we have a status update from the Prism team, and we have Deku and Wrath offline as well. I haven't had a chance to take a closer look yet. I can take a look right now. Other than that, DevNet 6 is targeting to launch in the next day or two. Hopefully, we can start testing with kurtosis in the coming hours. If you have a ready to go branch, please let me know and I can add you to our kurtosis matrix.
Which clients currently have DevNet 6 branches? Do you know?
So on the
Or
EL
which ones are
side,
missing?
on the EL side, it's Etrex is the only one that has it, and on the CL side, it's Lodestar and Teku. Everyone else
Lodestar and
is still
Teku are the
missing.
ones that do have it or don't have it.
Yes, they do have
Okay,
it.
amazing. How are we feeling about a timeline for DevNet 6? Like, um, clients, what do you think?
So it seems like, based on the comments, that Nimbus and Lighthouse should also work now. It must be a recent development, so I will be testing those as well in the coming hours, and then we could possibly launch a DevNet today in case we have at least two more ELs that are ready.
Okay. So that's the requirement is maybe two more ELs, so there's three.
Yeah, preferably at least three.
Okay, great. Is there anything else from anyone regarding DevNets? Okay. Spec updates. Very quickly want to mention that there are specs for Amsterdam DevNet 6 on the EL side, and for consensus specs, there's version 1.7.0 alpha 11. I believe both of these contain everything for DevNet 6. Okay. All right. Core discussions. Tersek, are you here to discuss EIP 7688 being included in DevNet 7?
Yes, I am.
What would you like to say?
Yeah, so that in general, that I think we've actually had a pretty good stability on DevNet 5. We'll see with DevNet 6. So in terms of that criteria or those criteria of stabilizing EPBS, that's of course somewhat subjective. Like when is it fully stabilized? But I think we're kind of, let's call it asymptotically there. Um, and a lot of the remaining things are tweaks. The other point I would make is that we have three fully ready clients on 7688 like today. So Lodestar, White House, and Nimbus. Um, or and then we have talk of maybe Prism being, well, that's a little, but that's but like, so three ready today, and finally that this addresses, there's what's called opportunity cost of not doing it in particular. So one might notice that we keep having gas limits at 190 million for obvious reasons, and there's been several other sort of cases where people have brought up that are sort of will be automatically resolved. There's been a question of sort of number of attestations. Now, will we actually change attestations in a block? I don't know. That's a different point in a sense, or like whether it actually happens is a different point. But like, to the degree that these things happen, there have been several proposals which would be um, quite a bit more um, uh, sort of awkward to do without 7688. That is, it would start providing concrete value quite quickly, and obviate the need to have sort of unfortunate workarounds. So that those would be my sort of the three sort of core points I would make. The last part of that, the last section is sort of not new in a sense. The first two are kind of newer, which is to say, EPBS stability, I think I would argue we broadly have it. So the headliner is there, I would claim. And secondly, that the client CL support is either there or close in enough clients. So yeah, that's what I want to say.
Thank you. One initial question would be for the CL clients, which have not yet um, added support for this. Would they be ready to add support within like a week or two? Or sorry, let's say 2 weeks for DevNet 7?
Well,
Teco has a prototype, but we haven't spent time to update that prototype to the latest changes, which also includes rebasing everything on top of Gloss. So if there is enough appetite for that, I guess a couple of weeks seems reasonable.
Okay. Barnabas says, I think we would have a good solid chance to have DevNet 7 be our final DevNet, by the way. Hopefully, that'd be nice. How are others feeling about this, Terrence?
I feel like we should have a sufficient understanding of testing Builder API, at least the basic working, before we have a DevNet final, something like that.
Builder API is optional as far as I know, so we can just keep adding compatible clients to the DevNet as they finish the implementation. So I think the only reason we would need to do a DevNet 8 is in case we would change the scope. That would require like a hard fork.
Yeah, but like I feel like testing Builder API, starting to test Builder API, like the first test is on a test net, then it kind of sucked. So I would highly like recommend we start doing that at DevNet level.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, this is also pre-orthogonal to the SSE EIP, I think.
Justin Florentine?
Yeah, I just want to tag on to what Terrence says. I agree with that. I think we should be looking at this as if what is the next step to getting to a public mainnet? Not did we get a DevNet that was like, stable and went down the happy path. So all the additional testing that Terrence is hitting at, I think we really need to plan for and accommodate it not being perfect.
Tony is asking in the chat, how long would we expect this to delay things for the other clients that have not yet implemented this? Maybe Teku, I mean, you said 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, to revive the prototype, but yeah, we need anyway to reevaluate the code maturity and production readiness on that prototype anyway.
Okay. How do we feel about seeing how DevNet 6 goes and maybe making a decision at ACDC this week as to whether or not to include 7688 in the next DevNet? It would require some work spec side as well, like doing final reviews and merging it into master.
That seems reasonable on, okay.
Enrico?
One thing that is worrying me a little bit is the PTC thing that we are talking about in the PBS channel. If that turns out to be a thing that we need to implement, how VCBN communication will have to change, how if there is a real security behind those PTC. I'm talking about voting on via PTC on non-canonical forks for VCs.
Yeah. I think we should discuss this in the CL breakout. I don't think that EL clients will care about this
Sure,
much.
but it's definitely relevant to the so-called readiness of the PBS implementation, right? So if that
That is
thing
true.
becomes a real, how much will anyway impact on the readiness of clients, and probably the SZ thing could add up to that.
Okay. Is that kind of to say that this Thursday might be too soon to make a decision on whether or not 7688 should be included? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How do other clients feel about this general vibe checks? Okay, we'll talk more about it at ACDC. That's the only discussion item that I wanted everyone to hear. Is there anything else that we should discuss or that someone would like to bring up before we go out into breakout rooms? Yeah, it is too quiet. I'll very quickly mention that ACDC this week will be at the original time, 1400 UTC, which is different than last week's time, which was 3 weeks earlier, sorry, 3 hours earlier. And excitingly, there will be a new REST SSE engine API breakout call this Friday at 1300 UTC. So please, everyone, join if you're interested in that. Should be a great chance to discuss that.
Just to confirm, the plan for ACDC is that we're going to go back and forth between the new time and the old time every single, alternating every other week.
No, I don't believe I maybe Barnabas can correct me, but I don't believe we're going back to the 3 hour before time.
Okay, so that was like a one-off.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the attendance on it was not great, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. I guess that's it for the main ACDT call. Could someone help us set up the breakout rooms?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. I'll be leading the CL breakout room. If someone from the EL side could lead the other one.
Should be ready.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Anyone has some issues joining to a breakout room, let me know.